A functional partnership is a type of business relationship where two or more parties cooperate to achieve a common goal. In the context of semiconductor export, a functional partnership can involve various actors, such as manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, customers, regulators, and governments. A functional partnership can provide many benefits for semiconductor export, such as reducing costs and risks by sharing resources, expertise, and responsibilities. Increasing efficiency and quality by leveraging each partner's strengths and capabilities. Enhancing innovation and competitiveness by accessing new markets, technologies, and opportunities. Building trust and reputation by adhering to ethical standards and best practices. Fostering social and environmental responsibility by addressing the impacts and challenges of semiconductor export. To build a functional partnership for semiconductor export, it is important to consider the following factors: alignment of vision and values. The partners should have a clear and shared understanding of the purpose, objectives, and expectations of the partnership. Compatibility of culture and style. The partners should have compatible ways of working, communicating, and resolving conflicts. Complementarity of skills and resources. The partners should have different but complementary skills and resources that can add value to the partnership. Commitment and accountability. The partners should be committed to the partnership and accountable for their roles and contributions. Communication and feedback. The partners should communicate openly and regularly, and provide constructive feedback to each other. Evaluation and improvement. The partners should monitor and evaluate the performance and outcomes of the partnership, and seek ways to improve it. A functional partnership for semiconductor export can be a powerful tool to achieve success in the global market. However, it also requires careful planning, management, and maintenance. In this video, we will explore some of the best practices and examples of functional partnerships for semiconductor export. Stay tuned. One of the most important steps in building a functional partnership for semiconductor export is to identify potential partners and evaluate their compatibility, trustworthiness, and expertise. In this section, we will discuss some of the factors and criteria that can help you find the best partners for your semiconductor business. First, you need to consider the geographic location of your potential partners. Semiconductors are a global industry, and you need to be aware of the trade patterns and dynamics of different regions and countries. For example, East and Southeast Asia are critically important partners for you. Semiconductor trade, as they are the largest sources of you. Imports and important destinations for you. Exports of semiconductors. However, you also need to be aware of the geopolitical and regulatory risks that may affect your trade with these countries, such as the U.S.-China semiconductor standoff that has resulted in restrictions on exports of chips and chip-making technology to China. Second, you need to consider the technological capabilities and specialization of your potential partners. Semiconductors are a diverse and complex industry, and you need to find partners that can complement your strengths and fill your gaps. For example, if you are a fabless semiconductor company that designs chips but does not manufacture them, you need to find a reliable foundry partner that can produce your chips at the desired quality and quantity. Alternatively, if you are a semiconductor manufacturer that needs advanced equipment and materials to produce chips, you need to find suppliers that can provide you with the latest technology and innovation. For example, the United States produces about half of semiconductor manufacturing equipment, SME, and Japan makes another third. The most advanced equipment comes from these two countries, and one Dutch supplier, ASML. Third, you need to consider the reputation and trustworthiness of your potential partners. Semiconductors are a highly competitive and sensitive industry, and you need to find partners that can respect your intellectual property rights, honor your contracts, and share your values and vision. You can do this by conducting due diligence on your potential partners, checking their track record, references, certifications, and financial statements. You can also look for partners that have established relationships with other reputable companies in the industry, or that belong to industry associations or networks that promote ethical and professional standards. By following these steps, you can identify potential partners and evaluate their compatibility, trustworthiness, and expertise for your semiconductor export business. In the next section, we will discuss how to negotiate and establish a successful partnership with your chosen partners. One of the most important steps in building a functional partnership for semiconductor export is to negotiate and establish a mutually beneficial agreement that covers the scope, terms, and expectations of the partnership. This agreement should reflect the shared vision and goals of both parties, as well as the specific roles and responsibilities they will take on in the collaboration. To negotiate a successful partnership agreement, you need to follow some best practices that will help you create value for both sides and avoid potential conflicts. Here are some tips to keep in mind. Start with a clear understanding of your own objectives and interests, as well as those of your potential partner. What are you trying to achieve with this partnership? What are the benefits and risks involved? What are your non-negotiables and trade-offs? How do you measure success? Conduct thorough research on the market, the industry, and the regulatory environment for semiconductor export. What are the opportunities and challenges in this sector? What are the best practices and standards for quality, safety, and compliance? What are the legal and contractual requirements for exporting semiconductors? Identify the areas of alignment and divergence between you and your potential partner. Where do you have common ground and where do you have differences? How can you leverage your complementary strengths and capabilities? How can you address any gaps or concerns? Prepare a negotiation strategy that outlines your desired outcomes, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement, BATNA, your reservation point, the minimum acceptable offer, and your opening offer. Also, anticipate the possible responses and counteroffers from your potential partner, and plan how to handle them. Engage in a constructive dialogue with your potential partner, using active listening, open-ended questions, and empathy. Avoid making assumptions or judgments, and focus on finding solutions that create value for both sides. Use objective criteria and data to support your arguments, and be flexible and creative in exploring options. Build trust and rapport with your potential partner by showing respect, honesty, and transparency. Express appreciation for their perspective and contributions, and acknowledge any concessions or compromises they make. Avoid using threats, pressure, or manipulation tactics that could damage the relationship. Document the key points and agreements reached during the negotiation process, and review them periodically to ensure clarity and accuracy. Seek feedback and input from relevant stakeholders, such as legal advisors, technical experts, or senior managers, before finalizing the agreement. Make sure the agreement is clear, comprehensive, and enforceable, covering all aspects of the partnership such as scope, duration, deliverables, milestones, payments, intellectual property rights, dispute resolution mechanisms, etc. Celebrate the successful conclusion of the negotiation process, and express your commitment and enthusiasm for the partnership. Communicate regularly with your partner to monitor progress, resolve issues, and share feedback. Continuously look for ways to improve the partnership performance and satisfaction. By following these tips, you can negotiate and establish a mutually beneficial agreement that covers the scope, terms, and expectations of the partnership for semiconductor export. This will lay a solid foundation for a long-term and productive collaboration that creates value for both parties.